Welcome to the Little Miss Movies podcast, where two movie-obsessed parents make their 10-year-old watch movies she'd never watch otherwise. This is episode number 21, Phantom of the Paradise. Hello, and welcome to the Little Miss Movies podcast. I'm Gable. I'm called Little Miss Movies by my parents.
I like to think it's by the world at large. that you walk down the street and people are like, "Oh my God, is that her?"
Although I don't think we actually refer to you as Little Miss Movies unless we're recording this podcast.
I do.
Do you?
No, you don't.
Yep.
Do you go, hey, Little Miss Movies. Is your homework done?
Yep.
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
But I'm
Constantly.
10, almost 11. I'm waiting a month and like a few days. Less than a month, actually. And I'm 11. I think I should be allowed to say that I'm 11. But I'm in 5th grade, and I'm almost in 6th grade, but yeah. And
We had a ruler fall over.
Sorry.
It's very loud for.
It's a
Barely
plastic
there.
ruler. And I like video games, specifically Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, which I'm restarting. I restarted it on Monday. I also like Animal Crossing, and I like writing and playing piano and reading and Girl Scouts and playing
Really?
cello and a lot of other stuff.
You got a lot to say.
Yeah,
Cool.
a lot of other stuff.
I'm
Now it's
Josh.
your turn.
I'm her dad.
You don't like as much stuff as I do, do you?
I'm good.
You like Zelda,
I like Zelda. I'm a TV
Yeah.
writer, amongst other things.
amongst others. You helped me do a book commercial for school.
I did help you do a book commercial for school.
Yeah, pre-podcast.
Yes.
Pre-podcast.
We really went as realistic as humanly possible. It wasn't very realistic.
It was funny though.
It was funny.
It was pretty funny.
It was.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, I'm her dad, and I'm a TV writer, and other stuff.
Yeah. You do Zelda.
Okay, I'm Christina. I'm her mom. I'm not so much into Zelda. I merely tolerate it.
No, you're not.
I'm not. I know a lot about it now.
Yeah, thanks to me.
I
I
am also a writer. I have a book on Jane Russell coming out in mid-June 2021.
A matter of weeks.
Weeks, depending on when you're listening to this,
And
or long ago in the past.
And my birthday is in a matter of weeks, or like Mommy said long ago, if you're listening to this in the future.
Or if you fell through a time hole with your iPhone, it could be in the future also.
It's not possible, Dada.
I disagree.
It's not.
Disagree.
It's not scientifically possible.
You don't know that.
Okay, we do
Yes, I
talk
do.
about movies on this podcast, so why
Not
don't
just-
why don't we talk about movies?
Hey,
It's not
Gable.
just me and Daddy arguing.
Hey, Gable.
It's not.
Yes.
That is my
Hey,
life
Gable.
lately. Yes.
Hey, Gable.
What?
Hey, Gable. What movie did we do this week?
Phantom of the Paradise.
What? Do you mean Brian De Palma's musical masterpiece, Phantom of the Paradise?
What?
Yes. The answer is yes.
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 Say yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Father.
Yes.
Should we do it again? Gable, are you talking about Brian De Palma's masterpiece, Phantom of the Paradise?
Yes.
His musical extravaganza?
Yeah.
Starring Paul Williams
Yes.
and William Finley?
Yes.
Hmm.
It's not Phantom of the Opera.
It sort of is.
It's not.
It predates the,
It's kind of, sorta, but not really.
yeah, it's a lot of things kind of jammed up on top of each other. How did it hit you?
Gable.
That was a very long pause.
Sorry.
You have to consult your notes.
I felt, let's see, I felt emotions. There were,
It was good. It took a very, 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 very dark turn at the very end.
Yeah.
yeah.
And they did a good job on the makeup and costumes.
What about the songs?
They were good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like the songs.
They were good too.
So I know you've seen, because you love Hamilton. We've seen Hamilton a bunch of times.
Are we gonna do one about Hamilton?
And what?
Are we gonna do an episode of Fox about Hamilton?
Because you already did it. You've seen it like 30 times. That feels like
Don't
cheating.
care.
My question for you is that now, like, seeing a movie musical where it's all very, like, well, where it's very well, not executed, but like the precision of a movie brought into a musical. And it's a musical where you don't know any of the music, so you're kind of going into it blind. What was that experience like?
I mean, I do know some of the music in
That's true. We do sing it around the house.
it. I do know some of the music.
I don't believe you just ha-ha'd me.
Wait, so like, like going in with not knowing the music.
Yeah, like just not being like super familiar with it, versus like going to see it, because you've gone to, we've taken you like to the what's it called, to the Pantages.
Well, like when we went and saw My Fair Lady in New York, like you were familiar with the songs already because I had played them for you. But this was different. This was going in kind of cold. Yeah.
Like you did when you first saw Hamilton.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Like when I first saw Hamilton. Yeah, what did you think going in? Because you had no idea what this movie was about, right?
Nope.
So how did this movie hit you?
I thought it was about a ghost in a place called the Paradise.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought it meant.
I mean, in a sense, it is.
I thought it was a ghost, but in like a never before seen like country or something called the Paradise, or like somebody, or like it was nice. A ghost in somebody's mind that they had created for themselves.
Mm-hmm. She thought she's going down to Paradise City.
Yeah, where the grass is green. I've heard.
Well, what is the movie about, Gable?
It's about a guy, and he plays a song. Piano, and then the other guy, the bad guy, Swan,
played by Paul Williams.
Swan hears the song and then takes it, and then the guy who wrote the song goes and he overhears like them rehearsing, so he goes and he tries to like what?
No, go on.
You're saying what a weird face. But he goes and he's like, "You took my song," and he's being chased. And then by like the police guys, security guards, and then he falls into like the record pushes. That's like a record pusher thing, and then his face gets deformed. So then he wears a mask, and he goes and he's like to Swan. He's just like, you gotta do these songs my way, or else I'm gonna like, I don't know, get
no one sings my songs but Phoenix.
Yeah,
he says that.
You get that. So then they redo it, but then they cast the wrong person. Swan cast the wrong person as the lead. And then the guy with the mask is like, no.
The Phantom.
Yeah, Phantom.
Of the Paradise.
Phantom.
The titular Phantom, as we say.
The Phantom is like, no, I don't like this. And then he goes and he lights the guy on fire.
He electrocutes him.
Which results in him being lit on fire.
Poor beef. Mm-hmm.
So then the girl can sing the song, and then he figures out a dark secret, which I don't know if I'm supposed to say it.
Probably not.
Okay.
You can't talk about the movie without talking about it.
Okay, fine. So then he goes and he's like, I need to get revenge on Swan. So the Phantom goes and he figures out that Swan made a deal with the devil that if he has to.
He made a deal with the devil.
He made a deal with the devil that'll keep him young forever. And so then the Phantom realizes that he's also with the deal with the devil, because Swan made him sign a thing which made him get the deal. So then he figures out that he needs to kill Swan, and then Swan will die.
Okay, so
that was top to bottom.
That was very thorough. So I guess you understood the plot of this movie then.
And then Swan and the Phantom both die.
Wait, I thought we.
You really went all in.
Yeah.
Cool. Spoilers.
Sorry.
So one of the things we talked to you about was how this movie is actually not, oddly, the Phantom of the Opera. Like, it, despite being the Phantom of the Opera, it somehow manages to not be the plot of Phantom of the Opera. And what it actually is, very confusingly, it is also the plot of a story called Faust, which is where all the deal with the devil is. Why is that
confusing? Because that's where the whole,
I understand, but that's not what the Phantom of the Opera is about. So it has the structure of Phantom of the Opera, but then within the Phantom of the Opera, also Faust is happening, which is also the musical that he's making. However, the musical he's making does not really seem to have Faust as the plot.
No.
So it's very much like there's a lot going on.
I think it's all very deliberate.
It's very 70s. It's very Brian De Palma.
It is very 1970s.
But you found, like, you could follow it. I mean, you just explained it pretty well, and we haven't talked about it at all.
Yeah.
Like you followed it all.
And the video that we watched was a panel of them talking, not like our usual video that we usually watch.
Well, we also watched some, like the behind the scenes stuff from the DVDs, and
Yeah.
sort of got
Well,
to see.
I was trying to put together the puzzle of the cards, the trading cards.
Oh, we have trading. We have
we
the
really
puzzle
like,
of the cards.
We really like Phantom of the Paradise in this house. We're a Phantom of the Paradise.
Yeah,
home.
and I realized that we had cards,
We have an
and
action.
I
We have,
looked on the
we
back.
have like a little action figure. We have like a big doll.
And then Dad is like, "Oh, they usually come together to make a thing." So I was trying to figure that out, and they kind of came together, but one of them was a duplicate. And one of the pieces was missing.
This is a thrilling story.
Yeah.
Really doing great.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you come away from it? Like, do you have questions? Do you have?
Yes, I have questions.
Oh, hit us.
Okay, hit us with your questions.
It's not. Okay, hold on. It's not like exactly about movie. It's more like technical stuff, I guess.
Sure.
All right. Like I usually have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's that. Who's both of your guys' favorite actor of this movie?
I mean, William Finley's pretty great. He's
Yeah.
the Phantom. I like Jessica Harper because Jessica Harper is in like an absurd number of amazing movies and virtually nothing else. Like he is only in completely awesome movies, and like I don't even know. Now I want to look and see if she's actually in things that aren't the like 5 movies I'm thinking of.
Well, yeah, I'm sure she had more of a career than the 5 movies you like her in.
I don't know that she did. I think you might be wrong. Yeah, she did like a little bit. She did some TV, but she actually kind of is in that like. Oh, she was on Scary Shandling too. Everything's amazing. She was on Everything Amazing. My lord. She's great. She's in a movie called Suspiria that I would totally show you, and your mom would never let me. I think maybe she would. It's very artistic.
No,
Mama, just tell him no, and I'm never gonna watch it unless I choose to watch it.
Maybe when you're in high school,
it's very
you can
artistic,
watch
except for the thing with
Suspiria.
all the pins and the bait and the lady at the end. That part's pretty upsetting.
Maybe you
What
can.
the heck?
Yeah, maybe
Of
when
course
you're
I
in
don't wanna watch
college, you
those.
can watch Suspiria.
But she's in Suspiria, which I love, and then she's also in the sequel to Rocky Horror, which is also a completely bizarre and confusing rock musical. That I also am crazy about. Like I love it as much as I love this and Rocky Horror. Like I think they're sort of a perfect triple feature.
What Rocky Horror sequel you said?
Yeah, Shock Treatment. It's called Shock Treatment.
Oh, okay. I thought
And it is-
for some reason I thought she said Rocky.
She's in Rocky 2. She actually fights Rocky Balboa. And Apollo Creed is like, "You can do it." And
Win.
Mickey is like, "You can do it."
What
You
are we
can do it,
waiting
Rock.
for?
Beat that women up. You can do it. It's very strange. He breaks his glasses. Christy, what about you?
Oh, I'll go with the Phantom.
Cool.
No, I think it's an incredible performance.
Cool.
No, just yeah, and I mean, and just there are scenes where he has to convey so much through one eye of a mask,
One eye.
and yet he manages to convey that emotion. I think it's incredible. It's an incredible performance.
And he was deaf while he was doing it because the way the costume was, he couldn't hear anything.
yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
They didn't put like speakers in so we could hear.
They eventually did, yeah.
Although Paul Williams is also just completely delightful, though. Like he is wonderful, and he was kind of pegged to play the Phantom early on, which
Would have been awful.
would have been awful, which he realized.
Yeah.
But he then
Um,
goes and plays.
So he had enough self-awareness. So then he played
instead,
Swan.
which also feels like it would be terrible, but oddly isn't. Like it's kind of perfect.
Oh, it is perfect. It works. Yeah, absolutely.
Who was your favorite, Gabe?
the girl.
You liked Phoenix?
Yeah.
Especially
her.
when she throws off that fedora. My
Yeah.
God. She just owns it.
The first funny.
Your mom is obsessed with that. Like it drives her
It's
insane.
funny.
It drives her insane that the performance that captures their imagination is her being
So
like,
low energy.
"Ah,
But don't get me wrong, I like her, but man, it is like the most low energy performance that would dazzle no one.
I think it's cool.
You thought
She's
it was
good
cool?
with her singing.
You thought it was okay? All right.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just hypercritical of that incredibly
It's
low
also her- but
energy performance.
It's sort of her thing. Like in Shock Treatment, there's a song that she sings that's like it's sort of like the statement of the musical. It's the I Wish song of the musical.
Mhm.
Every musical has an I Wish song, Gable. Do you know about that? We talked about that
Yeah.
before.
I know.
Right? So it's the I Wish song of the musical, and it's her and the male lead. And her part is like at least 2 octaves below his part. Like his voice is considerably higher than hers. And like not in a weird way. His voice is like the regular range for a man. And her part is just like, oh, that's really what a range she has. It's amazing.
Okay.
And the same emotional
Next
impact too.
question.
Sure.
Okay.
It's just the same emotional level.
Yes, pretty much.
Unwavering.
Well, the one is where because she's singing. Sorry, Gabe. She's singing a song about appliances. Is what that song is. Because they're on a game show and they're singing during the commercial.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
They're
that's
singing
so
about their
weird.
prizes as like how they hope their prizes will make them feel something again. And so she's just listing products. Oh,
I want to see that. I just want to see that
so
one
good.
clip.
So
Show me
good.
that one clip and I'll be happy.
All right.
No,
I'm
he's
on
going to
it.
make you watch the whole movie.
I am gonna make you watch. It's so good.
Okay, Gabriel.
Thanks.
Next up.
What did people think of the movie when it first came out?
I think it just bombed, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a disaster.
Yeah, it just kind of came and went.
Mm.
I never heard of it until
Really?
I met your dad. Your dad
And
actually
I dragged her to go see it. I was
No,
so excited.
you didn't drag me to go
No.
see. You showed it to me when we were in Glendale.
Oh, did I?
At the old apartment. You showed it to me. Oh, I know. I quite willingly went and saw it at the Egyptian. Oh no,
Yeah.
I quite willingly went to that.
That's so good.
So yeah, like it was no, nobody kind of cared about it, I think, at the time. And then gradually people have discovered it. And so when Dad and I went and saw it at the Egyptian a few years ago, Paul Williams was actually there in the
Was I there?
audience. You were not there. But
Was I born? Yeah.
yeah, you were born.
Was I born yet?
You were born, but you were too young to come. But
How
Paul
young
Wi-
was I?
I don't remember, babe.
That's a lot of questions.
Yeah, I don't have any
Oh,
There's a
concept.
lot of
I would like
non-germane
to
questions.
know.
Well, I don't know, sweetie. The last year has just skewed all concepts of time. Actually, just you being alive, I have no concept of time. Like at some point in your life, we went and saw this movie at the Egyptian, and Paul Williams was there, and he was there, I think, with his wife and maybe like his daughter.
Mhm.
If he has a daughter, and he got a standing ovation, and it was really nice. It was nice that he's been able to see this movie become so beloved.
Yeah, because it goes against what he does. Like he just that's not Paul Williams. Like that's not what people think of. Everybody thinks of either the songs that he did with the Carpenters, or like maybe it's just me, but I always just think of him on the Muppet Show.
Oh, Rainbow Connection.
Yeah, and he wrote Rainbow Connection.
Rainbow
Yeah, you
Connection.
told me about that.
Yeah.
The other thing about the movie is so it's directed by Brian De Palma, who would go on through like the 70s and 80s to have this amazing career directing hyper violent, like hyper intellectual thrillers almost entirely. And specifically, he was doing his sort of like version of Alfred Hitchcock movies is how he looked at them. Much to his what must be his chagrin, Alfred Hitchcock would frequently call them crap, which just broke his little heart because people would be like, "Oh, did you see that? Did you see Dressed to Kill? It feels just like an Alfred Hitchcock movie." And Hitchcock was like, "No, it doesn't. I wish he wishes it felt like me." Oh. And then poor little Brian De Palma just got a little bit angrier.
Do you know, I was like, I think I was like 5 years old when I saw Dressed to Kill. Yeah.
Lord.
Yes.
But so it came between sort of like the two movies that made his career. He did a movie called Sisters, which is this like super intense thriller, like mystery thriller. And then on the other side of this is a movie called Obsession, which is even more intense. It's like a sexual thriller, I guess, with Cliff Robertson. That sexual icon, Cliff Robertson, who I think wouldn't talk to him while he was making the movie because he hated him so much.
How did we get from me asking?
But I'm saying that. So the thing is it also wasn't. It's an oddball movie for him.
Oh, okay.
As well. So like you had this guy who was doing something. Both of the guys who were sort of the creative forces behind it did something totally different than this. Like this is not like if you were to put a bunch of movies by Brian De Palma and pick the one that he didn't make, you would almost definitely say that this Phantom of the Paradise, because it's so not him. And yet it's actually probably one of the most Brian De Palma-y things he's made, because it has so much of him and it feels like so much like a part of his personality. It's the fun
stylistically.
part. Well, it's like the fun part of him is actually in the movie, which you don't really get to see, I think, as much.
The fun part of
Like the Psycho stuff is hilarious. Like the Psycho scene is hilarious,
yeah.
right? The shower scene is pretty delightful. The split screen stuff is done it's split screen like he always does, but it's done in a really kind of smart, funny way, where it's
There's
done.
a Simpsons episode where they have the split screens.
Mm-hmm.
One of the kids, one of the bullies is talking to Martin, Random Prince, and then he's like, okay, close your split screen window. So he's like, okay, and closes it off.
So yeah, I think it was a movie that sort of was like doomed almost from the start. They say that there was one, it was like in Cleveland or something, right? Like there was one city that for whatever reason the movie was like a massive hit, and like every showing was sold out, and nobody knows why. But otherwise, like the movie just completely failed everywhere else. But it's a movie that like I saw probably in high school. I actually probably saw it with Rocky Horror.
Is that how you would have been introduced to it?
I think so.
Just like
At
happened.
one of the midnight shows, they would occasionally do double features.
Double feature Rocky Horror Picture
Right,
Show.
yeah. Yep, see? That's a late night double feature.
Late night double feature.
Picture show.
Picture show. Only have one more.
Okay.
Where was this filmed?
Some of it was filmed here.
Dallas.
Dallas, Texas?
The Paradise was in Dallas. Yes, it's a
Yeah.
theater in Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
In stages. I mean, it was all on stages.
Yeah, on sound stages, but a lot of it was filmed in Dallas.
Okay, that's all I have.
Well, because like one of the special features we were watching, like the dancing girls, in one of the performances were all local girls, and they were aghast at the
The costume.
at the costumes that the skimpy costumes that they had to wear. Then I think the rest of the crew and the crew was like trying to take all the dancing girls out while they were on location in Dallas.
So I'm curious about, because it's a thing I've seen this movie so many times. And I don't know that I ever processed it before watching it this time. Like, so when you make a deal with the devil, you trade something, right?
Yeah.
What did Swan trade? Do you
His
know?
likeliness to be a human being, like Voldemort.
Oh.
Like Voldemort.
Every time you hear his voice recorded,
Uh-huh.
it's trashed. When he talks on recording, he talks like this.
Does he?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Never noticed it before.
So he gave up his voice.
Yeah. That's the irony, is he can live forever and he can write music and he can do all those
Oh.
things,
But he can't perform.
Oh, that's why he was asking for
And
her
it's
voice.
like, oh man, that's fantastic. What
that's
a cool
why.
thing.
That's why he was asking for her voice.
You'll be my voice. Phoenix will be my voice. That's why he goes through all these people. He burns them up because he's using them to be literally his voice.
And that's why when he manipulates the Phantom's
He makes
voice,
him
it makes
use his
him
own
his
voice.
voice and says, "Oh, perfect."
Which is like a gag, right?
see, I
Like
thought
it's
it
a
was just-
funny
'cause it's
it's
Paul.
a funny gag. But then
Oh.
like when you step back and you're like, oh yeah, it's actually really that's like actually he's he's a tragic figure actually.
Oh.
Which makes him
Never
more
thought of
like
that.
Phantom, which makes him more like the Phantom than the actual Phantom.
Yeah.
You know?
I thought it was like Voldemort, where he just kind of gave
Give
up
up.
his
His nose.
likeliness. His likeliness to be a
I will
human
get you,
being.
Harry Potter. And I'll give up my sense of smell for it. Curse you.
He still has a nose. He has like a snake nose or something.
There's holes in his head. Which really, it's problematic because you're not getting any filtering. Just smell everything. Can't even really cover it. There's so much space coming into it.
No, it's like a snake nose.
Mm,
What's the point? It's supposed to be like a
makes
snake
no
nose.
sense. Just makes no sense.
It's supposed to be he like took on like a snake or something.
Yeah.
A snake form or something. I don't know. That's really what. He's like not a human being anymore because he teared off a bunch of his soul.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
So, watching this, what does it make you want to watch more of? Rock musicals?
No.
Brian De Palma movies?
Nope.
Paul Williams music movies? There's not
Yeah.
many other ones. You like?
Yes.
Oh, so the music was
Oh, so
definitely
you
a
liked
selling.
the music.
Yeah, it was
The music
cool.
was a selling point. We already said Jessica Harper movies, but you're not giving me that because you're chicken.
No, I don't want to watch Suspiria.
You can watch Shock Treatment. Unfortunately, you can't watch the two Woody Allen movies, but they're fantastic. One of them is one of the early funny ones. Even
I don't want to watch Suspiria.
oh, it's so good.
I don't want to watch Suspiria.
Even your mom likes it.
I don't want to
Yeah,
watch
but
Suspiria.
But my kid's not watching it.
I saw it when I was like 12, and I'm fine.
Are
What?
you though, honey?
Hmm.
Are you?
Are you?
Like, what did you come out of the movie thinking?
It was cool.
Like,
And
is
very
it?
tragic.
But is it a thing that you
Very
watch?
tragic.
Like, would you watch it again?
Maybe.
And you'd like listen to the soundtrack?
Maybe.
Oh, I think you'd listen to the soundtrack.
Maybe.
Do you have a song? You have a favorite song?
I like that one that you play all the time.
The We'll Remember
Yeah, that one.
You Forever. The first song? Yeah, it's a
It
good
might
song.
just be because you play it all the time.
I do play it all the time.
Might just be because I'm used to it and you play it all the time.
Yeah.
Or it's because I like it. I don't know. Maybe both.
I like that. I like the Faust piano song that he plays.
Oh
the
God, it's
first one.
beautiful.
Yeah.
The first song he plays is beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it was funny, because we have various Phantom things just around the house randomly, and it's funny as we were watching the film and it started clicking, like, oh, this thing in the house that I've walked past every day for a year, it has meaning.
It
So-
has
so that
meaning.
was
It's not
nice.
just a guy in a shower cap with a plunger in his face.
Mhm.
Yes.
Well, we have because we have Jason Edmiston, who's an artist who does he does eyes.
Yeah.
They're little prints of different famous characters' eyes with sort of nothing else to identify them. And he did a super limited run of Phantom Eyes, and so we have one of those.
Wait, which one?
They're not up yet, but we have them.
Oh, which one does we have?
Phantom. We
It's
have
just
the
the
Phantom.
Phantom.
Oh.
It's his mask.
Oh, I thought you said Phantom. I thought you meant like the movie.
Did we used to
period,
have
which
it?
is
I think we used to
Phantom.
have it hanging up with
Mm-mm.
Hedwig. We never did.
Mm-mm.
Hedwig the Owl or Hedwig the guy from the
Hedwig
No.
and the
Inch?
Angry Inch.
Because we did them as pairs. I think we had Hedwig and Bowie
Oh.
and Ziggy Bowie.
Can we show her
Ziggy
Hedwig?
Bowie.
I have no problem showing her anything.
Okay.
Debbie Does Dallas is probably that's where we top out.
Have you ever even seen Debbie
Of
Does
course,
Dallas?
of
Have you
course. I was
really?
a kid in the 80s. I had friends with
I
salads.
was a kid in the 80s. I never
You
saw
weren't
that.
a boy. You weren't
That's
that's all we
true.
did.
That's true.
There's nothing else for us out there.
Okay. So anyway, what else do you have? Did you have anything else about
Mm-mm.
Phantom? No, that was
I have
it.
my rating.
You have your rating.
Yeah, that's all I have.
All right, we can do that.
You want to do your rating?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Should I just say it?
Just say it.
4.4.
Wow, that's pretty
That's near perfect.
high.
That's near perfect for you.
That is pretty high for you.
4.4.
I don't know. I think Gable likes movies from the 70s.
4.35.
Oh, stop it.
So, all that in mind, would you recommend it to your friends?
Maybe?
See, I feel like this movie would be a great sleepover movie.
Really?
I don't know why. It just strikes me just as a movie like a bunch of tween girls could hang out and watch. I don't know why.
It doesn't feel like doodly. It feels very doodly to me.
Does it?
I guess
Oh,
'cause
see,
I
it
saw
doesn't.
all my because I never went to how cool a teenager I was. I never went to Rocky Horror with girls. We always thought we're gonna meet girls at this thing. We never did.
No.
No.
And you didn't have any
Well, we wouldn't wear
girls.
costumes.
And
so,
you didn't actually have any girls to go with either.
No, I went. I had a girlfriend. I had one girlfriend that who used to go with us a lot of the time. I think she always had to work. She had to work a lot on Saturday nights.
Oh,
Friday
so
nights.
then you would go and try to pick up other girls?
No, I'm saying
while
when
your
I
girl-
wasn't
Look
dating
at what
her.
a cad your father
Mm.
was.
When I wasn't dating her, we
Ah.
would go. No, I had 2 friends that would go all the time. We went to Rocky Horror almost every weekend, thinking
Yeah.
first of all we loved it because it's awesome, but we also wouldn't wear costumes because we're cool.
Right.
We're not a bunch of weirdos.
See, my
No offense to
problem
weirdos.
My problem is I didn't see Rocky Horror until I was in my late 20s, so it was a terrible experience.
I rectified that by showing you Rocky Horror, Gable, when you were 6 months old. So I have pictures
Because you
of
like
you.
Rocky Horror, don't you?
Yeah?
See, I've had a hard time getting over that ghastly experience of going to see it when I was 26. It was just too old.
I'm curious if it's still the same
Mm.
throwing stuff and
Yes.
Is it still,
I mean, this was a long-
yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I'm curious if it's still like that now
I mean, it certainly was at
and
the
what
Newark.
how she
yeah.
would react. I don't know how she would react to it.
Yeah, the second we sat down and there was just tortillas flying everywhere, my whole group was like, "What the hell
We didn't do tortillas. I don't know. That's just stupid California stuff.
is it?"
It's
Anyway,
toast.
but no, but this. Oh, I think this is a girly movie. It just doesn't strike me as a doodly movie. This actually kind of strikes me as
Do
a
you want to
girly
watch
movie.
this for your birthday? Do you want to show it to all
No.
your friends?
I want to do a Simpsons movie.
Do you maybe want to show them all Suspiria?
No.
We could
I
do
don't
it-
even want to watch
We
that.
could do a double feature of both the original Suspiria and the recent
No.
remake, which does the
I am
amazing...
never watching that remake again.
Oh, it's so good.
We're doing the Simpsons movie.
Huh. Okay.
That's what I decided. We're doing the Simpsons movie.
I still think this would be like a fun
No, we're
movie
doing
for...
Simpsons movie.
What? No, clearly, we're not going to show... Clearly, the first time we show a movie in our backyard with people around and God knows how long. No, we're not doing Phantom of the Paradise. I just think at some point down the line, it would be a fun, sleeping bag on the ground movie to watch.
We're doing the Simpsons movie.
Okay, so would you recommend this to your friends?
Maybe. I don't know, maybe.
Okay. Has there been a single movie we have reviewed where she was like, yes, I would recommend this to my friends?
Jaws. That's all.
Hmm.
That's all.
Folks. We'll get there.
All the Halloween, probably the 3 Halloween ones and most of the Christmas ones.
You would
I'd
recommend?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Most of the Christmas
I think it's interesting because your friends aren't like big movie nerds either, though, right?
ones. No, they're not.
Like, it's not like you guys talk about, oh, I saw whatever movie that came out this week. What movie came out this week? I don't even know. Movies don't come out anymore.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I saw the 14-hour long Justice League cut, and
I
it
know.
was presented in
I know that Trolls 2 came
4:3
out.
Trolls 2. You knew that? That was a big one.
I don't know.
Like
I've
that
never
your
seen
friends
that. I
talked
never
about?
saw it.
Isn't that
No.
kind of sad? I feel like there are not... I feel like there is so much media to consume now. There aren't like these big shared experiences.
This is what me and my friends talk about. One of my friends, we talk about Zelda.
Mhm.
Because it's the only person that I know besides Daddy who likes Zelda.
Okay.
One of my friends, she talked about the Tom and Jerry movie because her brother wanted to see it. So she talked about that for a bit, but we
But
mainly...
it's not like that was one person talking about it.
Yeah, there was one person. And then, but we usually just play Minecraft or whatever.
But I feel
Oh,
like
no.
you all liked Harry Potter though. Not I don't mean like literally everyone, but there was because I know you're very literal. But there is a fair amount of people of your peers that liked Harry Potter, right?
Mhm. I mean, a lot of them only saw like the first movie
Okay.
Really?
and did not read the books.
Oh.
A lot of them only saw the movies.
But you have like there's a few girls in our Girl Scout troop that were Harry Potter fans.
Yeah.
Like legitimate Harry Potter fans. So,
Yeah,
so you
not
had,
just movies.
so you had that. And I feel like since the Simpsons
Animal Crossing.
Yeah, and since
Animal
the
Crossing.
Simpsons landed on Disney Plus, it seems like a few of you have been watching the Simpsons.
Yeah, there's this
And then
kid.
you have all your friends who watch Columbo.
None of my friends watch Columbo.
On-
I don't
on
even
Peacock.
watch it. I don't even watch
You
Columbo.
have watched some
I
Columbo.
watched one episode.
And you
loved
loved it.
I
really
watched
did love
one
it.
episode and
You
then
do
fell
come in when
asleep.
you hear it, and you're like,
You guys watching Columbo?
Go to
Um,
sleep. But
But you're
what's going on?
Yeah. You do.
did he figure out who did it yet?
Yeah, I think you don't watch it with us because we tend to like put it on at 11, like right before we go to bed. But no, you will stumble in and go, "Are you watching Columbo?"
I heard it yesterday, last
Just
night.
one more thing.
There's just one more thing before I go to bed. Did Columbo figure out who killed him? I just need to know.
Is it that? I was like, wait, are you
You
guys
do.
watching Columbo? Okay. And you're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, bye.
Okay.
Bye. That's what happens.
hmm
And then I walk in, I'm like, are you guys watching Columbo? And you're like, yeah. And I go, okay, bye.
Yeah, I feel like the world would be a better place if you and your friends
No.
all were watching.
No, but there's
Columbo.
this, like, one-
that was the water cooler movie you talked about. It's water cooler TV show you talk about and work in the morning. You'll stand around it.
No.
That's the thing, a water cooler. That was the thing that used
That
to
was a
happen.
thing.
No, but one of my friends, going back to The Simpsons, one of the kids from my school had like the Simpsons t-shirt, and I did not know what it was, and I watched Simpsons, and now I'm thinking back, and now I know that kid was wearing a Simpsons t-shirt.
Now you know what that
And
was.
you'll never talk to him about it.
Because you
I mean, mainly because he's at my old school, and I don't
And he
think
might as well be
anybody-
dead.
I don't think anybody, like barely anybody's going to my middle school, so.
Okay, so that was
know.
Phantom of
You
the
get to
Paradise.
reinvent yourself. Can I suggest you reinvent yourself as a Phantom of the Paradise super fan?
No.
Do you
We'll
want
get you the
Zelda.
We'll get you a
t-shirts.
fedora.
No, we're doing Zelda, Animal Crossing, Harry Potter, and Simpsons.
You
I'm
don't
just
want to
saying-
wear
That's me.
like a half kimono and a fedora
No.
We'll
to
get
your first day of school.
No.
We'll get you a Death Records t-shirt. I have no
No.
problem.
No.
None. No problem whatsoever.
Well,
Hmm.
no.
You're missing your opportunity.
No.
Could be your thing.
No.
Every kid needs a thing.
No, it's video games.
Video games are your thing, but
Zelda.
it's a very specific video game.
Zelda. It's a game franchise that I just don't want to play any of the knockoff
I'm sure
ones.
we've lost. If we had an audience, we've kind of lost most of them by this point.
But me talking about Zelda.
Shall we wrap it up?
I think so. We're gonna come back next week with.
We are
movie.
legitimately coming back next
Yes,
week.
this time for real.
Legitimately.
With,
Actually. I got grounded because my room was messy for my Switch, and I really want my Switch back. So they told me that if I watched the movie, then I'd get my Switch back.
So yes,
And I'm happy that I watched that movie because I got my Switch back. I was able to restart Zelda.
And spoilers, you liked it.
No, I didn't.
Oh my
God.
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I didn't.
I guess we aren't going to tell you the name of the movie. You're going to have to tune in
Yeah,
next
you
week
have to
and
tune
find
in.
out.
And it'll legitimately be next week.
Yes.
Find out what movie we bribed her to watch.
Listen, we told you we did make her watch movies that she doesn't want to watch. We're not lying.
No, we're not.
No, you're not.
And
You're really not.
I think that'll do it. We'll see you guys
Next week.
Next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
The Little Miss Movies podcast is hosted by Josh Fialkoff, Christina Rice, and me, Gable Fialkoff. Recorded, mixed, and produced in North Hollywood, California. Series art by Gabo. Episode art by Gable Fialkoff. Theme song by Gibby and the Bees. All contents copyright 2021. Fluttershines Inc. Visit us online for more at littlemissmovies.com. .com. Okay, I'm gonna finish the outro or the banner thing.